Now that we've taken a good look at noun phrases, verb phrases, and everything that goes between and around them, let's take a step back and talk about how it all fits together. To start off, words are the simplest units that sentences are made up of. As we've discussed before, words can play different roles in sentences depending on where they're placed. Sometimes a word can be a verb, sometimes a noun, but there's no need to get too tangled up in figuring out what a word is. You can spot one when you see one. Moving up in complexity, phrases are groups of words working together. Phrases are classified by the kinds of words that make them up and by where they go in the sentence. For example, a phrase that is built around a noun would be known as a noun phrase. If that noun phrase were at the beginning of a sentence, it would also serve as the subject of that sentence. Like always, placement is more important than classification. A participial phrase, which is a phrase built around a form of a verb that comes before the main verb of the sentence, could also be considered the subject of a sentence. Of course, and don't be confused, a participial phrase could also serve as an introductory modifying phrase. To avoid confusion, it's important to pay attention to how words are connected to each other. Luckily, punctuation often shows up to clarify the boundaries between phrases when things do get tricky. Never underestimate the value of a well-placed comma or two to help your readers to see how your sentences are put together. Like we said, phrases don't count as sentences by themselves. The most basic grouping of words that can stand independently as a sentence is the clause. Like phrases, clauses are made up of multiple words. Except in the case of commands, though, clauses set themselves apart from regular phrases by having both a subject and a verb. The subject and verb could be single words or more complex phrases. There are two main types of clauses: independent clauses, which can be sentences all by themselves, and dependent clauses. Dependent clauses have a subject and verb, but they also start with words known as subordinating conjunctions. Because of that, dependent clauses don't work as sentences on their own. They depend on independent clauses to make complete sense. In most of our discussion of sentences so far, we've focused on single clause sentences, but it's clear that sentences can get much more complex than a single clause. For example, if you have a dependent clause, you are guaranteed to have a sentence with at least two clauses. But independent clauses can also be combined with words known as coordinating conjunctions. That means that you can have a sentence made of multiple independent and dependent clauses. Add in modifying phrases and other multi-word subjects and objects, and you can end up with very complex sentences indeed. Sentences can vary so much in size and complexity, in fact, that it's hard to define them with much exactness. Strictly speaking, sentences should consist of at least one clause, but talented writers have a habit of bending that requirement to pretty good effect. If we're totally honest, a sentence is just a group of words that starts with a capital letter and ends with a period. And that's the point that we've been making from the start. We like the idea of grammar rules, but grammar isn't about rules. Grammar won't tell you how you should write, but it will tell you what's possible. Should you write with only highly complex sentences with multiple clauses? Probably not all the time, but grammar doesn't care. Grammar only tells you that you can write like a Baroque monster, not that you have to. So go ahead and write some well-constructed and delightful sentences. No judgment here. But if it is judgment you're after, stay tuned for our series on usage.